Hey you guys. Okay, so I got a new I guess prophecy. Now for the last 2 months I've been seeing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's been riots that take place after the elections. Now recently I gave a word that the Lord had given me, and I'll post the link for it down in the description box so that you can click on it real quick and to see what I'm talking about. It's only like 2 minutes. It was just short, sweet, straight to the point. But in it, the Lord declared freedom and justice for all. So this revelation is just another piece of that puzzle. Is just another branch off of it. Last December, the Lord spoke to me about Martin Luther King Jr. Now he has told me a few words. I'm not very, I guess, educated like in political things and laws and stuff like that. So if I reference a word that the Lord has given me, I have no idea what it means most of the time. So just bear with me. Now, he had spoken to me about Martin Luther King Jr. He also had called to my attention Marxism. Now, I don't really, like I said, I don't know what things like this mean. It's just, I have no interest with political type issues, so I don't really like look into them. But at least you'll know it's authentic. Okay, and he also showed me several things pertaining to the I have a dream, and the date that speech was given was a very specific and very significant clue that God himself had planned. I mean, just the entire thing. Martin Luther King Jr. had a purpose. And it was the Lord's agenda. Okay. But little did I know, God was not just educating me. He was not just educating me. He was laying out a map of future events. And he is now calling that to my attention. So I'm in kind of a state of awe with this. So bear with me. In August the 28th, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave the famous I Have a Dream speech for jobs equality and freedom, just like in the word that he had given. This took place in Washington, D.C. on August the 28th, 2020, which is tomorrow. There will be a virtual protest to commemorate that. Okay? In August 28th, 1964, are you ready? The race riots and protests broke out on the streets of Philadelphia for the same cause. For the same cause to that of George Floyd, with the exception, I don't think anyone died in that. There was also a rumor entangled with this. The rumor was a pregnant African American woman. The rumor was she had been shot and killed by police. That rumor ran through the community, making the riots even worse in 1964. similar to the case of George Floyd. But this is not how George Floyd is, that's not the only way he's connected to this, is through circumstance. Okay. Of course, he would not be connected in terms of date like these others. Okay, August the 26th, 2020, protests started again in the case of Jacob Blake. This guy's from Wisconsin. The rights protest, it was in Philadelphia. And he was shot on August the 23rd, 2020. Now, it is only August the 27th. So, that part of it is not complete. We won't know until after tomorrow. Okay, in the case of George Floyd, because his was several months before anything, he was the first case for this year that had started this whole race, Black Lives Matter thing. But so how does that make him connected with the rest of it? I didn't quite understand until the Lord said, his death shall bring. Now, again, it's the 27th. I'm curious to see what tomorrow has to reveal. But see, just like in the case of Methuselah, that's what Methuselah's name meant. His death shall bring. When he died, it brought the floods. It brought the rain that caused the flood in Noah's day. And so, aside from these connections, which I mean is wild, is really wild to me. I enjoy this kind of stuff. But aside from the connecting the dots here and how everything is associated, I was shown riots to take place in Philadelphia. The Lord showed me the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia and pointed to the fact that our bell is cracked. Washington will be another place. Riots will break out. The Lord tells me this. I have no idea what it means, but this is what he says about the riots. He says martial law. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just got that just before this video. So, you know, I speak what I'm told, and I tell what I'm shown. What I did see. See, this is the hardest part about carrying the word. What I saw was a lot of angry women, mostly centered around Washington, screaming, yelling in hate and pure anger, getting violent. Some of them even had bats. I mean, very barbaric. They didn't even act human anymore. It reminded me of a modern day Salem witch trial, or the witch hunt. Yeah, it was that bad. So, yeah, this is what I've seen. No telling what we're going to get out tomorrow. But, yeah, I was always curious about how George Floyd was connected with this. And now I know. Anyway, I hope you guys stay blessed. do what you can just to stay encouraged and to keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize, despite what you see. Anyway, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and I thank you for watching.